leads. I see 46 opportunities, and he messaged me and he was like, hey, there's some that I don't have any info on, and I need to like look at that and be like and figure out what the hell. So out of the ones that were not that, there was 37 that we got, and I've got like it all kind of marked down here, but there's 12 in that 37 that are we've marked as lost, and that they were closed out because of they said that they chose competitors due to price. There was like neighbor referrals or trade deals. I don't know what the hell that was in reference to. The AI picked up.
Yeah, that was from a while ago that the guy wanted to like, I don't know, even trade services or someone.
Okay. Mm.
He was a marketing guy or does internet or IT stuff.
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, some of them saying that they weren't ready for way too long. Yeah, they blocked us. And then I said, yeah, everyone's tagged properly. There's notes in there. And then, yeah, of course, if I will follow up in the long run, like if they're not blocked us or whatever, I'll still message people. It's actually on like a 3 month or like it's really long spans of like, I try not to fuck with them, but still, I'm trying to stop cussing, man. I'm trying.
That's fine.
But basically, it wasn't like, nothing in them was lost due to like follow up, which is good. The system's working, but it also means that we're more so up against like market factors. If you go back up there, competitors, price, neighbors, like other stuff. So I did want to just kind of run some questions by you, like, because we should be able to influence that stuff. But that first one is, what are we doing? Like, what is DreamWorx doing right now to help homeowners understand why your prices are higher? Because I will say that too. I've seen that directly. A lot of people react to your price, which is not a bad thing. That's okay, but it's just something to pay attention to. But more so like, yeah, what do you feel like you're doing to help a new lead understand why your price is higher before they even can get a cheaper quote? I know a lot of them already do, so it's still, do you feel like you've been doing anything, or is that something you might need to work on? Or
I probably need to get a little better on it. I kind of go with the product standpoint on that, and we're using the most premium products on the market with Pete.
Something that I've discovered with guys, I've been learning like through my sales, more so bringing guys on, like, this one dude was telling me, he's like, well, there's only really one guy out here that like can kind of even compete with me. He's in El Paso, Texas. So I'm like, yeah, I guess I don't hear anything about that place. So makes sense. But he's like, but he doesn't even have like the good equipment. He doesn't even have like this. Like, he'll do it for cheap. He doesn't have a team. Like, he doesn't have like dependable people to do. I'm like, tell the leads that. Don't say it's him, but like, hey, like we've got, like, it's not just our product. I also have invested in my team to make sure that there's no mess ups in here. Like, do you want some guy that's taking bottom dollar in this motherfucker, in your house, messing with your stuff, and he's like not running his business properly? Again, you really can't say that as well, but like, just kind of, hey, like, I just got the best equipment, and like I've really invested in my team to make sure that they're not going to mess anything up, bam, you see? And so that's why it's like, why are you priced higher? Because I got to pay a team that I want them to be good. That's why I have to charge so much more. That guy is scraping by. These other guys out here that are charging you low, you can say that. These other guys that are charging really low, they're like hiring people to do the floor, the concrete, grind it for them. They're like getting random people in your house from Home Depot, or they're like buying the kit from Home Depot. You can tell, it's like, this is why you just got to tell them. So again, I would try that a few times if you can. And the more I'm sure by now too, the more you play with stuff, you kind of get comfortable doing it. Right?
Correct. Yeah, I'm still messing with some stuff with some people.
So we already kind of basically went over this. Like, are we clearly showing what makes us different, or are we just assuming that they'll figure that out by you just showing up? And that's sort of what we were just talking about. But I was like, what's your, like, I do see people in there, they're like, I'm not ready yet, or like not right now and stuff. What would you say is your go-to move when someone's saying that?
Are we talking about what makes us different?
No. Just like, what you feel like is your what's your go-to move if somebody says, hey, like, hey, Tyler, I like that quote, but we're just not ready right now?
Well, kind of, it all depends on like if the concrete's in like rough shape. I usually kind of say like, well, you try not to wait any longer because the more and more you wait, the more and more your concrete's going to get pitted or the cracks are going to get worse.
Right, right. Do you do you feel like that is something that is going to build into a future yes? That's basically the question here. Or does that just kind of dead in the conversation?
Yeah, it seems that way. A lot of people that say that kind of stuff, they're hard to get back a hold of, really. I
Yeah,
think some people really don't know what it costs.
right.
But when you go there, especially if they don't do the quote online, you show up and they're thinking it's $1,000 or $1,500. If you're showing up with a 55 or $6,000 bid, some people are like, ooh, they don't want to tell you that they can't afford it. They just make up some spiel like, we're not ready.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny.
Most
One thing I want to ask before I forget is like, do you feel like, are you noticing that enough right now with leads? I guess it's also a problem if people are calling you off of Google, then you're probably just going. But like, are you noticing that still? Because I can just kind of switch everything to the ballpark to where everybody is getting that number first. So you kind of stop that if you want.
it doesn't seem like it's as bad as it was when Facebook.
Right.
Google seems to be a little bit better because I feel like you're getting the better clients that can actually,
Like,
most of them can afford it.
yeah, that too. Like they're looking for it.
Yeah, like I think the last month I ran into two people that probably couldn't afford it.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the other thing I would say is one, objection handling. You were talking about like the people saying that they're not ready yet. Like, I don't know if you ever you had asked me before, so if you want to, you like I learned from Andy Elliott, and like I think probably him more on objections. Like I learned that there's like the process, but then there's like when they have the things where they're like, well, we're not ready yet. It's like, what do you say at that point? And it's always, I just have to get this out too, because it's always better to do this like when you're there. When you leave and you try to do it over the phone, like that, you're right. Like they're kind of like, you need to get, this is what I would say is like, when you look at that situation and you're like, well, they don't want to say that they can't afford it.
Correct.
You need to get them to say that. That's the thing. You need to not leave the thing unsaid, because you need to know. You need to be able to say, yeah, they can't afford it. And then, this is what happens is if you actually get to that point enough times, I'm just going to speed it up for you and let you know sometimes the objection when it is that, this is when we pull out financing then. And it's like, but you can't offer the financing properly if you aren't finding out that it really is that they can't afford it. And what I always say is like, it's called, if you just let me, yeah, like the actual thing is called a hypothetical positive. So that's like the objection handling. And that's like every objection that I like preload into the system. That's kind of how it's framed. I try my hardest to get it framed that way, because when they're like, hey, Tyler, like, I got your quote. Like if you do it, that's what I'm saying. It's best to do it in person. And it's like, yeah, dude, like I just wasn't expecting that. Like, or that's a price objection. So say, hey, like, hey, we're not ready yet is not in person. That's what I'm saying. It's like, we're not ready yet is not good, because you need to like, when you're there with them, be like, is there anything that would stop you from doing it this day that you want to do it? Like, because then they can't come and say it later,
Yep.
like the more you get while you're there with them, better. But like, yeah, if somebody said we're not ready yet, let me just make sure that makes sense. And you would be like, well, like, hey, like, I just want to make sure I understand you're not ready yet, just so I can make sure, like, is it something with like the flooring options that I've given you? Like, because I think how many times do you think you've lost the lead from somebody that didn't want what you were offering as far as like the floor itself?
I guess I never thought of that.
It's like rare, right?
Yeah, probably not.
Like most people are is that's not like that's what I would tell you, man. Like when I lose, like if somebody goes out of their way to book a call with me, because some I'm just telling you about my stuff. Some people won't. They refuse to. And I'm like, that's my process. You book the thing. I'm busy. Tyler needed to change his time. I'm not just gonna jump on a call with you. No. Like this guy pays me. Yeah. You no book a call. Like if you don't do it, if you won't do it, that I won't work with those guys. I'm like, no, do it, do the thing I'm telling you to do. And if you can't listen to me now, like, but
Yeah.
but when it's so it do it and they get on and like it's 99% of the time they're like, dude, it like I'm like, if I did this for $1, would you do it? And they're like, yeah, I love your shit. It's the money. Like they don't want to pay me the 1,000. And also I just like, I don't. I switched to where it's only the system. I only sell the automated system for what I gave you. I'm like, you got to pay me for ads on the side.
Yeah.
So, but you're cool. I'm hooking you up, man. You've been chill as hell, and yeah. Anyways, but that's what I'm saying. It's like it never is. No one is ever like, no, I solved this shit and booked a call with you, and I don't want that stuff. Nah, it's fuck no. That's never the thing. It's always that they're like, I don't know if it's like valuable enough. I have drip jobs and it's $100. You're charging 1,000. I don't know. It's like that's my fault. So not providing the value up front. Like I need to show them the value, And so I hope that that's maybe translating to you where it's like you got to do it up front. But yeah, like that's why you do the hypothetical positive. It's like, hey, I get it. Like you might not be ready right now, but like, is it a problem with the floor? Because they're gonna say no, and it's like, or is it like something else that's holding you back? And that's where they will say the thing. They're like, I just like can't afford it right now. Bam! Now they told you the truth. Yep. I can't afford it right now. Because you gave them like, or that's also a little bit of a shift, but like the husband and wife one is like the best one where they're like, hey, like, okay, I love it. They're like, oh, that's cool. Like, thank you for sending me the quote, like in person. Thank you for sending me that. Yeah, let me just like get my wife. I know she was supposed to be here, but let me just talk to her and like, we'll call you back. And it's like, hey, before I leave, like, I just want to make sure that like, there's nothing left unturned. Like, I just want to make sure, is it like, are you good with the floor? Is there something that I can help you with on this side? Like, are you concerned about some of the thickness or like how long it's going to last? Like offer up the thing, like, is there anything you're concerned about here? Or like, because essentially you're like, or is it the price?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, like, so, but with the why, it's like, well, let me just say, like, if they say why, let's just say that she's here. She was here. She saw the same thing I just went through with you. I sold you. I walked through the process. She sees that. And let's say she loves it. That's the hypothetical positive. Let's say hypothetical situation. Let's say she was here. Let's say she was here. And let's say she loves it. Would you be ready to move forward? And that's the same thing. It's like, and it just switches them to where they're like, well, like they have to answer you basically. They're like, well, no, like, I'm really concerned about like the time. I'm really concerned about the money. I'm really concerned about this might not be the thing I actually want, which is like very rare, but sometimes it happens, like the metallics. That happens in metallics a lot. They're like, oh shit, oh, I didn't know it was like that, you know what I mean? And so
I thought Pete told me to just stay away from metallics.
Yeah, it's rough unless you're like fully committed to it. That's what I'm learning with these guys. You got to just be like balls deep in it and like ready to do the videos and all that, But I did want to ask you because I feel like, did you notice a couple of people saying that they were getting like referrals from someone else? I felt like there was like multiple people that said, hey, like I got like, oh yeah, like this company did my neighbor's stuff, so I'm gonna go with that. It's like, I was like, why the fuck are you reaching out to us then?
Yeah, I had one guy lost out from a referral. I think it was just the one guy.
Okay, it might only be that one guy.
Yeah.
This is just a good question. Is like, when that happens, it's like, how do I become the name that gets recommended next time? You know what I'm saying? Like, what did that company do? And like, sometimes that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it's good to ask ask the lead, like, hey, like just for my own sake, like what made you go with them? You know, it's
Yeah, I should have done that with them.
it's a great question, and like
Oh, because they were cheaper. Uh,
it was cheaper, and like
yeah,
and the recommendation.
they ended up. Well, when I first gave them my quote, I think I was $1,200 more. It was a big garage, and then I said, well, because he told me up front. I said, well, let me see what I can see if I can work my numbers a little bit and see what I can do. I I dropped to like $400, so I was $800 more. And then he goes, well, just because it's the price doesn't mean I'm not going to go with you. I'm like, well, I can make it $400 cheaper. And then he ended up going with him anyways. So it obviously was price.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and that's what I was telling you. I've been seeing a lot of it, but um I think some of what we've talked about, like even like the value conversation, and then like pushing on those objections harder to like confirm stuff. And then like I would say that's what I'm saying. Like if it really is price, if me and you are getting to that place where it's like, dude, it's price, well, are we offering financing for it? And like that's what I'm that also is where it becomes that part. It's like it's not just financing, like do they also understand the value of like why you're priced that way, and that they should do the financing instead of just going cheap for now, you know? And so like we just got to try to like bridge those gaps of like and really hone in on like where that is, like what is happening and what are we doing in response, rather than just being like we're the most like we're priced good, but we don't want to like fucking hemorrhage out everything because
No.
solely, like the value equation is part of that. And then the 90% of it is like, are you like saying the words to the person so they know, like you can't assume it, It's like like people, a lot of people are like, well, I've got the most reviews and my website's sick, so I don't have to say shit. They should know. It's like, no, you have to tell them you're the best motherfucker, but you got to do it like without being an a-hole. You know what I'm saying? And like,
Yeah.
that's what like a lot of guys come to me and they think that I'm coding launch. And I'm like, dude, the ads is like the lowest end thing that I do. It's like leads are not the thing. You need all this other stuff. And that's what I'm saying. So then that like instantly they're like, oh, wait, you're like not that shit. So I can't even compare the price at all for you, because I know coding launch is like 1,000 or 1,500, or I know these guys are 1,000 or 1,500, and like, but you're doing this shit over here. It's like it should like you have. That's what I do to them because I'm doing something different. And that's what I'm saying. So then if you go back to what I was saying about me talking to people about like your competitors, it's like really look and be like, yeah, dude. Some guy was telling me, I think it was the guy that was buddy with Jeff. He hit me up. We were on our call, and he was like, yeah, me and my wife went to this like meeting out here, like a get together. And he said my wife was like, she was like, they were at the place and it's all these concrete guys there, right? Coding guys. And he said that his wife was like, yeah, I don't know if I would like really let any of these guys like in my house, even like the way that they present themselves is just like shit. And this, you're like at like an industry meeting. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, you probably shouldn't. I mean, I look like shit. So, people probably assume that about me off rip, but you know, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, most of the concrete coating guys I know are pretty clean cut dudes. Like you guys all look, So that's for him to say that. I'm like, hey, well, that's something you could like. It's like, have you had anybody else come in here? It's like, you know what I mean? And that's your brand and your presentation part of that, and that's your value essentially. Is that resonating?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I did want to mention, bro, a huge part here is kind of maybe what we were talking about too, like the event. There's like a lot of leads that have kind of abandoned, but we followed up with them a lot of times. They either like never replied after the ballpark range went out. They blocked us. They said like they're just gonna think about it. And there's like a lot of those ones. Again, same like we've already discussed, like they might just kind of be lying. And they're like, that one, I hate that one. It's like, what do you need to think about? And that I say that this again, like in person, it's like, what do you need to think about it? Like they will say that in person. They're like, oh, I just need to think about it. Are you ready to move forward today? I just need to think about it. Like, what do you need to think about? And like, should you not tell me what you need to think about while I'm here? That's what this is for.
Yep.
It's like, answer your questions. What do you think? What do you what do you need to think? You know, and you just got to put them on the spot with those, because a lot of the times they are fucking lying to you. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You just
absolutely.
you have to understand that that's the step. Like, find out what it is. And I do that with these guys too, man. I'm like, are you cool with the program? And they're like, yeah, man, I know I need to install this. It's just a cash flow issue. You told me the same thing. You said that exact thing to me. Because I make sure. I'm like, is this like, you like this shit? You like this shit I'm doing? Okay, like, oh, if it's just money, bro, and if you guys are cool enough, I'll work with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, same thing. You can open up that with them. You're like, hey, especially if you know your margins. That's why I was asking you. I'm like, if you know what you're going in with your margins at, you'd like know where you can go. And it's like, hey, if the person's cool and you know they're not dicking you around, then, but again, it's also work on your end. You have to do that work like when you're with them. Or and way too many dudes are just like, they're like, okay, let me think about it. Okay, hit me up whenever. They will, you see, like, especially with the system, as long as you keep hitting them. But most of those guys don't have that, and that's where all of the leads are just like leaking out from how things used to be for you. You know what I mean? For all these guys. So yeah, and I did notice too, fully 100% on my end, when you had asked me to change that thing to say most common, it like broke the automations. Yeah, I got that fixed, but I think there was also like, it was saying, somebody said that it was sending a logo, and I'm like, I don't think it is. I don't know what the hell was going on, but you know, yeah, I've got that guy going through all of this stuff, so the system's cleared up. The AI is gonna catch more shit now. But yeah, the main takeaway with all of that is that these abandoned leads, and I have like all of these reasons here for you. See, Sandy asked for project photo, got a logo by mistake, and then they just like ignored us because it made us look unprofessional, basically, you know. And that's the main takeaway. These leads, they didn't really say no, but they disappeared on us. So it basically is like a soft no. But a lot of them have kind of cooled off, and I don't really want you to spend energy like fucking with these people too much. Unless like Bobby, you're like, but you can kind of tell with all of this conversation, like Bobby was also, from what you told me, not a super engaged lead either.
No.
Right. So yeah, they were all followed up with appropriately. We logged everything. But yeah, unless they re-engage, nothing's going on. It just tells us, I did say like the leads didn't say no, they just disappeared. And that tells us that they weren't really sold enough to stay in the conversation. So I would want to ask, like, are we giving them a reason to reply other than the price, and like a sense of urgency, clarity, or like confidence in how good you will do? Like we've been, again, like what we've been talking about. So I would say just start kind of pushing on that with the leads, like as they come in. Start taking some of these, and I can send you some notes about what we've talked about, and I'll send you this too.
I'd be curious on that list though.
Huh?
I'd be curious on that list.
Yeah.
How many people did I actually go on site with?
That would be great to check. Let's
from the list, I think there was only like 3 people that I actually scheduled on sites with them too in that list.
Canceled appointment, not ready this year. It's like, like what the hell? I'm telling you, these follow-up sent, they just abandoned. Auto quote. After getting quote, yeah. Waiting on lease. No updates since June 19th. So that one might be decent. 14K quote sent out. And that's like, so like this is like a perfect example as we go forward. This Mike Seeger guy, you sent a quote for
I'm still kind of dealing with him a little bit.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like when my guy catches this on like a weekly basis, I'll be able to kind of like do this with you and be like, hey, like, what are we gonna do with this guy? Like, you sent the quote for 14.5. Like, it's like, I don't know where you're at, but like, would you do it for like 12.5 to move?
So his quote actually went up to about 25,000.
Oh shit.
Yep, because he's got a stamped pool deck, and he wants to have it media blasted to keep the stamps in the pool deck. So, and that was right under 10 grand to get that media blasted for us to even coat the pool deck.
And like this one too, waiting on a slab pour, like it's just good for follow-up. Like these guys haven't necessarily said no, you know. So this is a list of people that you can just hop on the phone with if you want to make convert more, you know. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, I did want to just mention the let's see. Yeah, you can always review this document too, but there's some open leads that I had noticed. A few are still comparing bids. Terry and Nancy.
Yeah.
Terry said that he's waiting on one more bid before deciding, tagged for mid-July follow-up. And then Nancy, she's comparing quotes, waiting on two others. Quote recent, and I think I'm setting those follow-ups when it says that. Ronald's waiting on scheduling, and I think it was like get that out of there. Okay. That's cool. That clears things up. I'm gonna highlight that. Yeah, with like Terry and Nancy, I was gonna say because they're comparing quotes and stuff. I don't know. I changed the automated system to basically start saying it right away. But with these people, I would say one, that's a good question. Like, what are you doing to make it harder for them to choose someone else, even if the price is lower? And are we offering to review competitor bids to help them spot like red flags and missing info? So if you kind of get the gist of what I've been saying, it's like, this is how we go about like kind of knocking down the other guys that are charging cheap. You know, it's like, hey, send me that quote so I can just like, and like I the text messages say it real smooth, the preloaded ones, but it's like basically in a gist is just like, hey, it takes 10 seconds. Just send that. I'll give you a call and we can like walk through my quote and their quote together. So there's also some of this stuff that's in this document was about that. Like me and you, I'm just gonna say this for the recording and then our sake. Like me and you should work on the terms and conditions on the estimates that are getting sent to highlight some of these things that we're talking about, like warranties, what makes you different in the estimate itself. So that way, in case somebody else does that to us, they're like, hey, send their quote. It's not just a number with like epoxy floor. I know you've got like descriptions too, but like we can put stuff in the bottom to where it's like way solid. Like this is our warranty, this is our stuff, this is so because I've had that happen. Like my guy Drake that does metallics, he did that. Like it was like metallic to metallic, and Drake's like 20. I think he was at like 17 per square foot for that one, and then the other guy was at like 8, and the dude was like mad confused. He's like, "What the hell?" And Drake was like, "I told him, I'm like, tell him to send that quote." He sent the quote, and like it was like a warranty, but like he wasn't covering anything, but he tried to make it sound like he had a warranty, but it was like only craftsmanship, but he wasn't saying it that way at all, and like Drake was able to be like, look, like that's not a real warranty, like that's just like, and it's like boom, it like shifts where they're like, well, why are they fucking lying to and then charging, bam, he locked them in, you know what I'm saying? So again, yeah, those red flags or like missing info, be like, hey, they're not listing their warranty, they're not listing the process, they're not listing what they're like gonna do, they're not listing their warranty, all of that. But yeah, I would just say, hey, like I'd be happy to look at the other bids with you and just make sure that you're comparing apples to apples. And then the sick part of it, if you can nail it down, is just like send it to me, we'll go over it, and like at least like you'll walk away. Like, would you be mad if I helped you know that like even if we are the more expensive and like we like we just charge more, at least you'll walk away knowing that that company is giving you the exact same thing for a cheaper price that I can't do.
Yep.
You really are getting the best deal. And it's like we were just talking about this, about the lead, and I wanted to mention this to you about that lead that was like trying to get the cheap stuff, and then they come back. And that's what I was saying. I'm like, when you start talking to the leads like that, like, hey, just send me that quote. It takes 10 seconds, and at least like at the end we'll compare it, and at the end at least you'll know, like even if you don't work with me, that's cool. Like you're getting the best deal, and I'll help you make sure I care about you enough to make sure that you're really getting the best deal. And it's not in a like I'm gonna be a piece of shit and talk shit about them. I'm just like, let's just look and like, yeah, dude, they're beating me. Go with them. I would go with them too. Like I can't do it for that much. I don't know how they are, but like they're solid. Go do it with them, you know. And like you lose the lead, but then imagine if that company is cutting corners somehow and that floor fucks up. Who are they calling?
Yeah.
They will call you, bro, for sure, because you warned them, you took the time, you like they're like, I fuck, I should I need to call that guy. And then and then it's an upsell for you because you're gonna have to fix the floor too, you know? So yeah, you already said that you're doing the risks of waiting, like, you know, with the bad concrete. But as you get further, it's just like, hey, I get busy. That's kind of I'm slowly getting to that where I'm like, hey, I can only take like 2 people at a time, and like I need to get them up and running, and then I can do more people, you know. It's like, and then that makes people be like, shit, I want to do it, like I got to do it now, you know. It's like, look, because if not, I'm gonna have to wait another whole month of like shit being fucked up, you know. So, yeah, Corval just missing. It might not even be that might even be like a spam call. So we should just check those. Um, yeah, just a big question here. Last thing, what would it look like if every single one of these leads felt like seen, guided, and reassured about all of the stuff that they're going on, like whatever they have going on, by the next message that you send, you know? And like I said, sometimes that's actually finding out what their actual problem is. Like they want you to be able to cut a deal with them if it's about the price, but you're like letting them off the hook. And so then, like, do you think that if that's the real objection, do you feel like they feel like they felt seen, or that you just like saw the smoke screen and you couldn't see the real objection, which is price? You're just like, oh, okay, think about, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and then you're also going to be able to guide them. You'll be like, look, what if you just financed it? Like, what if you just did this? And same thing with the looking at the other quote. It's like that same thing. It's like they felt seen, guided, and reassured. They're like, damn, you took the time to like look at that quote and really break it down for me to make sure I was getting the best deal. Like I'm reassured that you're the right guy before I go with this other guy. I feel seen, heard, guided to the right choice. You took the time. You made sure that I was reassured. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, what would it look like, bro, if you do this on every single one, bro? On every lead that you got? I mean, that's what I'm saying. We got a couple up here that like they might need some more love. The lost leads, you know? That's like 30 leads right there, man. And even at like a low end, that's $2,000 a job. And I know me and you both know it'll be more than that. But if you just do that, that's like 60K, you know? And that's like 2 months of like what you told me you want your monthly goal to be.
They're right around 30 to 40. 40 would be killer, but yeah, 30 is good.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. That's 60K is a lot. And that's what, like, so I think that's what it would look like, is like you'd probably be getting a lot closer to that. And dude, I think you'd probably shit on everybody because I've never had this conversation with anybody this deep, you know? So one, I appreciate your work and like what you're doing and stuff, because we can have these conversations. But hell yeah, bro. I feel like if you do that, man, and then just turn up the fire with everything else, like shit, hire some people as you keep going, you know, just keep going. But
yeah, he's been talking about
you and Eric.
No, me and Pete hiring, or no, me and Pete have been talking about maybe trying to. I don't want to do it, but find 2 other guys. I think one to work with Eric, one to work with me.
It would be good, dude. Like I'm going through it myself, and like this is like you can see, dude. I hired this guy. He's been working with me since Tuesday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, today. I told him I was like, bro, I've got this meeting at noon. I need you to finish this thing by today so I can do this meeting with my guy and go over all this stuff. He is like, I'll do my best. And I was like, do it for me, bro. He did it. He got it done like an hour or two early. So, you know, but it's like, it's freeing up my space on like, I can say this, like I had my setting up the accounts took me like a week. It took me a while for you because it was just me, and like I
Yep.
signed it, and like I give it all to him, and it's taken me like a day or two to get people set up now versus a week, you know?
Yep.
So like, and then that takes stress off of me, and I'm like, cool, when I sign up people, you can get them up. Good. He's good. And he did that in like a day. He was like, good. I might have to help him a few more times, but he's pretty solid. And then
Good.
like this stuff, dude, I'm like, me and you just got to get, I don't think me and you have ever got to get this deep, you know, on things,
No.
and like really process through it and talk about leads and talk about like how to grow your sales from here. So I'm excited for that, and this is like, this was my intention. I wanted him to go through that. And then like I said, where it really goes is that like I'm kind of like actively managing with him and you the leads in the account. I'm
Yep.
trying to, you know, we're like what we're doing, but like just more consistent. And hopefully we won't need to get on calls so much, so often like this. But I just wanted to do this and kind of get like one solid one out. And then we can evolve and move from here. So like my point is that um I pay him $1,000. So, you know, like, yeah, all the money you give me, I'm giving to this kid in the Philippines. And but like it's helping me do this stuff. And then like this is gonna help you go close more, be better at your job, hire people. So my point is that like it's scary. I was like, shit, I don't know. Fuck, I don't what I'm like, dude, it already in 3 days has like changed my entire, it's like a completely different game to like have him here, even if I'm like, there might be moments where you might just be sitting there, but like the times that you can work, and like granted, I know that like, yeah, I get freaking 160 hours out of this kid for $1,000, you know, because
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
you can't really do that, but um still worth it to reinvest if you have the means. Like I literally was just, I've talked to too many guys where they're like, damn, I should have talked to you like months ago when shit was good, because I've like tanked everything now, you know. And like, yeah, see,
Yep.
you got to like keep it going, and like some of that is hiring. And if Pete, you know, Pete might, I don't know that much about hiring, so if Pete is telling you just out of my side, I'm like, I would consider it, because I'm saying the same thing, but like I know Pete knows way more about that than I do. You know, I've been like, I don't know about the sales and stuff. We'll see. Pete's amazing, dude. He was like acting weird that one time. I was like, hey, chill out.
Yeah.
But no, I respect Pete. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, if he's telling you to do the hiring, I'm like, man, and I'm going through it and it's helped me. I'm like, it's probably worth it, dude. Like, if it can free you up to catch this stuff and like care about this, fucking do it. Fucking do it for sure. That's my take. If it helps you do anything that we've talked about and like level up on that, do it right now. Do hire them, you know. So you do with that with what you want. But yeah, I would just say again, most leads were price related or like price shopping with other leads. So we need to like hone in on like what that strategy is. And like I said, we'll continue following up with the leads. Um, and then yeah, Ronald is good. That's not right. So yeah, side by side review with Terry and Nancy. Just say, hey, if it helps, I'd be happy to look over the other bids. I can send you that. Um, real quick, super sweet, super valuable. And then like I said, audit our quote template. Let's do that, and let's like the goal of the estimate that we're sending out, because it's both the estimate and the quote, the final quote, they're basically the same thing. And so it's like, does it just look like an invoice or feel like an invoice? Make sure that it's like clear, human, and confidence building. This should be like one of our biggest goals this week. To look at. And then yeah. And then let me know if you want to do like a review, like your closing rates versus quote volume. There was another one that we did talk about. Um what was it? Ballpark. Well, no. The abandoned leads versus how many of them were ballpark, no quote, or in person. I'll get that. Yeah, and then This is a dumb thing. Same thing. We already went over that. So yeah, man, you've got, yeah, that's the other thing. Like the system's dialed in and the leads are flowing in. And so these small moves, they'll just make sure that the leads aren't like, they're not just hearing from a company that just sent a quote. They're like hearing from the guy who followed up like a pro. You earned their trust and you helped to make that decision. You know, you're like, I'm the fucking best. It's like easy to pick me. You know, that's where we're going now. So, yeah, I'll send you this. I'll send you this document, and like I said, next week this number will be a lot lower, so we'll be able to maybe get a little bit more meaty on like what we're talking about and stuff. So, but yeah, man, thank you, dude, and yeah, let me know if you need anything. Of course, let me know if you see anything, and then I'll review the call, and like anything that you had said, it'll be picked up, and I'll catch that, and I'll make sure that I like implement those things for us.
Okay.
So, and then I'll let you know about I might just work on that quote template myself and just like say, hey, like this is what I wrote up. Do you want me to add it? You know,
Okay.
thing.
No, for sure.
Awesome, bro. You got to go to a job or something, right?
I got to go help a lady that we did a job for install a couple of hand railings on her steps.
Right. Finish up the job. Did she give you a review?
She's going to, because we might be doing her driveway too.
Might get that review.
Oh, I already talked to him about it. They said for sure.
Good, man. Well, man, I do want to just say as we're getting off, bro, I'm like really proud of you, man. Like no gay shit or anything. I'm just proud of you for real.
Thank you.
You've been doing it, so keep it up, bro.
Too.
Yeah, I saw that. I thank you for that, man. You're like Jesse's fucking sick as fuck. Thank you.
I'll tell everybody.
Awesome, bro. Well, yeah, man. I think we're gonna have to get steaks and shit.
Oh, we're gonna be getting steaks.
I think we gotta have to do it soon. When it's sometime this year.
Oh, for sure.
Hey, bro. You take care, man. Have a good rest of the day,
buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, bye, bro.